never succeed.
What was that elephant in the room?
It's still there. Yeah, it is still there.
What is it?
We all know.
You know what they say? They say a picture says 1,000 words. But what about words? They can deduce a lot of meanings. This is what the former Reserve Bank Governor, Dr. Gideon Gono, said on this podcast in conversation with Trevor. And it is really speaking into the story of the ZIG. You know, when the ZIG was introduced, the Reserve Bank Governor, Dr. Mshayabano, said that I'll report back if the ZIG fails. And it looks like we are going in that direction. But what Reserve Bank Governor Dr. Gideon Gono said is actually, in a way, blaming ZANU PF or blaming the current government for the failure of the ZIG. Let us take a listen, and I'm going to analyze to you word for word.
I would always say you can appoint all Zimbabweans to become governors, but there was an elephant in the room, which, unless it was exorcised, all the 14 million governors that you would appoint will never succeed.
What was that elephant in the room?
It's still there. Yeah, it is still there.
What is it?
We all know.
In his statement, he is saying, even if we're going to appoint 14 million, that was the population then, governors, they were all going to fail. And then he says that because there was an elephant in the room.
But there was an elephant in the room, which, unless it was exorcised, all the 14 million governors that you would appoint.
And he says, what was the elephant in the room? And he could not say the name. He just said, he is still there. So in other words, he is cryptically, if there is that word, in a cryptic way, saying, as long as we have ZANU PF, or as long as we have this government, we are not going to, even if we introduce ZIG or we introduce whatever currency, it's not going to succeed as long as there is a system that is there, the system of this government. That is what he's implying when he said we are still in the same way we were when currency was changing. Maikwira pataikwira kombi kuseni manheru todzoka yachinja price. That's the same situation. And he was also caught in another statement saying that he had to, because they had to introduce new currency because they wanted to keep the soldiers happy. Is this what Gideon Gono was referring to? Is he saying that the army is the system? Which one is the system? I want you to tell me what you think about what Gideon Gono has said in this clip, referring to the fact that we still have the system and any currency, or even if you appoint any person in Zimbabwe to become the Reserve Bank governor, they will fail. I'd love to hear your thoughts.